This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Yes, she's a 360 all the way around. Yeah, that's how she rolls. Can't believe I found her. Smart and funny. Got me.
All right, here we go. Overdrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker. Up on TSN. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan.
Going on?
What's going on? How are we feeling this afternoon?
Hazy, I apologize. I just couldn't go to war with you on the survivor pool. I just felt like there was something about Brad where it was like we have no chance of winning, and Brad's like this, I don't know, and it was like we were just handing it to Brad. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, so we got to explain what happened.
I was going to ask you about that.
Let's not get
Yeah.
into.
We don't have to get too deep into the weeds, but O and I have been partners,
Yes.
in a survivor pool for a few years.
You pay every year.
And I pay
God.
basically every single year. I think it might have been his year to be up, and now miraculously we're no longer
We're out,
doing
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Dude, I think we did it for 6 years, and I paid every year except one.
Not true.
Dude, that's what the.
That is
go ahead.
categorically false. But I talked about this on the air last week, and they posted the clip. I've been calling this guy.
Yeah.
Like, are we doing it or not? I'm getting flushed, and he's got bigger and better things
let me
to do.
ask you this: we can make a call on the fly right now. Do you want to?
Well, here's what amazes me. Like, Brad, I don't know him well. I've met him. He's always like, got to get it in, got to get it in. And then, like, an hour ago, he's like, you guys still in? I'm like, I thought it was a deadline like 2 days ago. Like, is there a deadline
No, last
or not?
week he was like, guys, and like, in an hour, this is over. You got to
Yes.
get it in. And then it was just Hayes ?
Right. I thought when you answered not this year that spoke for both of us.
But you guys should go in. What's the problem here?
I'm happy to get in. I will say this. Week one
You
in the
want
NFL.
me to text him with a 3-pack for crying out loud?
I think we need to keep
What's
the
the
ball
cost to
rolling
get
here.
in here?
I don't know. It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. It's
I'm
100,
picking it
200.
up. It's on me this year like it always is.
But-
I want to be a teammate of yours. I want to be in the trenches with you, but I'm concerned you have no faith in our ability to pick winners in
Well,
terms of a survivor pool, which is a
is-
very different category of, gambling or picking games.
But it's hard because you guys are together in a survivor pool, but then you're against each other.
Right, but those are
weekly.
the spreads.
Okay,
so
the
the
spreads
spread
are
is very
different,
different.
right?
Listen, the Eagles would be a popular pick week one to win tonight.
Fair enough.
Right? They're an 8.5-point favorite tonight, and I'm sure will be a survivor pick for a lot of people.
Right.
It's a difficult week one. I got to be honest. I think the Eagles are a big favorite. I think the Broncos are a pretty big favorite at home against Tennessee.
But you have to choose
You got to pick just a flat winner.
tonight.
No,
or no,
just
through the week.
in the week. But if we're going to put in 3 teams, we got to pick 3 different winners, which we've had years where I think we got burnt twice in week one.
Well, didn't want
Dude,
to.
week one, I think we had 3 teams one year in week one, and we left week one with a 1 spot.
I think didn't the Jets jam you up once?
Oh, they jammed us up historically bad. That was one where O and I were having private conversations about private yachts and like we're moving to Monaco.
Yeah.
We're like so fired. Like we're like, this is really going to happen.
Yeah, it's happening. It was like week 16. There were like 5 teams alive, and we were on the Jets at the Rams, and the Jets were like a 16.5-point dog, and they won. It was the biggest upside.
Dude, it was the biggest disgrace of all time in the history of football.
Of all time. We're sitting there, we're like, we still have the Rams. We're on the Rams. It was Jerry Goff. That's why this guy hates Jerry Goff. Because of that game when he
Jerry
was
Goff
jammed
jammed
us.
you guys up.
Jammed us.
Ah.
Yes. Jerry Goff, we hold him accountable personally, not McVay, not anybody
I'm
else.
sending the message.
Yeah, text
I'm
Brad.
sending the
Tell
message.
him you're in.
All right, let's do it.
I think you guys
I'll
should
do
be
it
in.
right
It'd
now.
be
I'll do it.
exciting.
Ask him if he's cool with it, because, again, like you said, the time was ticking. A week ago, he's like, you have an hour.
You know what he
And
wants?
then it was 2 days ago. Do you want in? And
he
then today.
wants cash and say, add more to the pot.
And I
That's
think
what
he
he's
wants us to bring up his name on the show,
Oh,
I
periodically.
don't think he does. I don't think he does.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
Well, in case he's
Shoot him a
working
note
out
and
of-
say,
We've
on
said-
second thought, the boys are back.
In case he's
I just
working
said,
out of
can
a-
we get in for a 3-pack?
I love how we're wavering. We're like, we're out, not going to happen, and then football's
I
in
think
the
you
air,
gotta get
3-pack.
in there. Why not?
Is there
Unless-
anything better? The NFL's back tonight. I'm so jacked. I can't wait for it. You got to make picks. You
Make
got
picks.
to have some action going here.
Yeah.
And we're due. All right, Brad, if you're listening,
Well, hopefully
Text the
he's
O-Dog
listening, but
back.
What if he writes you back and goes too late?
he might. I guess it's possible. Although I don't know why you wouldn't close the gate at like 8 o'clock. Kickoff's at what, 8:15 tonight?
Yeah.
Like, why not get as many people involved as you can?
The guy texted Hayes question mark at 3:35. I'm pretty sure we're still good.
I think we're good.
Well,
so now we need some help. Yesterday we're looking for taglines. Now we're looking for survivor picks. Like, do we take the Eagles outright tonight?
Well, do you believe that they're going to win?
Well, Hayes and Bro are on the
correct
clock.
me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a thing in the system where it was only Sunday games, or was it that?
No, I think you don't. Usually, you don't have. If you miss the window to get your pick in on Thursday, sometimes you can wait. Although they usually don't allow that. That's a good question. Though I don't know. Yeah, generally, survivor pools allow you to pick any game that's available.
Oh.
Right, and you can only pick the same team once. Like the First Up guys have been doing their pool forever. They do a great job with it.
But I guarantee you, AK and them and Carlo had it in a week ago.
Probably.
Because they're on top.
They're on top of things.
You two are in the last minute of it.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going
Well,
on.
Now
we
you're
just
gonna win.
started off the show talking about how we just were no interest, and now we're begging the guy to get back in.
I know,
and
it's
we'll see what
desperate.
he says.
He's probably going to come back and say you got to pay double. Like, we probably just greased ourselves.
That's probably.
If you want in,
I'll
you got
tell
to
you
pay
right
double.
now, I'm not doing double. If he says you're welcome, let's get it going.
All right.
I'll do it.
I'm in.
If he says double, I'm out.
I agree with those standards. Right, we got to be fair to ourselves here.
Yeah. I thought for sure you were going to text him on the individual on the down low and say, I'm on my own.
I was thinking of it. Truth be told, I was going to write back and say, I'm in for us. I want the O-Dog on my team, but it's your connection, not mine. Once you're out, I'm like, I don't know how to deal with
what
this
if Brad
without you.
becomes your new best friend like
I'm a
Tucker
friend
became?
stealer. I should maybe look into that. I've already done that with Tux.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
what if
right.
Brad becomes, you and him gambling together, setting up a casino?
That's a good.
Have you and
good
Darcy
point.
Tucker escalated to hanging out away from the golf course?
I think maybe Tux has greased you. Are
No.
you still tight with Tux?
Yeah,
or no?
I haven't seen him in a while. He was out in Bandon. He was doing the Bandon Dunes thing, man. He was living the high life out there, and I haven't seen him since he's been back. But I think I might see him tomorrow. Hoping to see him tomorrow, and no, I don't know what else. What do you think I'm doing with my life?
Well,
I don't have much of a life.
No, because
Like,
you
in
watch
terms of
every
going
sport
out
and
and-
tweet about it. Last night you were.
I was watching the Blue Jays, and
they just put up 15 runs and you win every night.
25,
though.
25 total runs in over 2 nights, and it was a sweat. Both
For
games.
the fans.
You know how
they're sitting
crazy that
watching.
is?
That is insane.
They are going to score 25 runs on aggregate over a 2-game stretch, and you are going to sweat.
It
That's
was
just an
outrageous.
absurd statement.
Again.
But it's fun. I will say that.
It
They are
is
thoroughly
fun, but
entertaining.
how do you just get to this point where a guy cannot throw a ball other than Gosman? Who other than Gosman? Bieber, he kind of got through it last night.
Well, he
but
battled.
I appreciate that.
He was due for that.
Yes, but I like, you know what?
And he fought through.
Yes, I don't want to overstate it, but there's something about the horses, the aces. Like Roy Halladay was famous for this. He'd give up 2 or 3 runs in the first inning and then pitch a complete game.
And fight through,
And he'd
yeah.
settle in, absolutely. And Bieber did that. He got rocked in the second inning. He got rocked. I mean, you can't sugarcoat it. And then he got through 6 innings. So after the second inning, he went 4 innings clean and pitched really, really well. And that's a testament to what he's capable of doing and a testament to the faith that this staff already has in him that they're going to allow him to breathe. Because if that's Barrios, someone's coming in.
Yeah.
If that's Eric Lauer, if that was Manoah a couple years ago, different examples we could come up with where
trust
they'd
wasn't
say, I can't trust this guy anymore.
Yeah.
Bieber, you put faith in him that he'll come out of it. And they put faith in their offense to explore. They hit 5 home runs last
That's
night.
the other thing, too. If you know you can give up a lead and dig yourself out, there's a level of confidence there. And it's not just one guy. I've been hard on Kirk.
Yeah, he's
I'm
been
hard
great
on
this
him.
year, man.
Little
That
grit
signing
grinder.
was a really good signing.
You know what he's really good at?
It is good right now, Hayes. But
I
it's
know.
like,
I know.
well,
Ebbs
that
and
could turn
flows.
south, and yeah.
Ebbs
You
and
know what
flows.
he's really good at is digging balls out of the dirt.
He's
Like
great
that
behind
guy
the
is
plate.
an unreal catcher.
Yeah.
Like
He's great
unreal.
behind the plate. He frames pitches really, really well.
Like I watch him and I sometimes chuckle because I'm like, this guy, if you saw him in public, you wouldn't believe.
Him and Phil Kessel are the 2 greatest. What do you think this guy does for a living?
Yeah, great.
Athletes.
But man, oh
Ever.
man, he is. like he's on top of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really enjoy watching him as a catcher. Like you talk about framing the ball, but like there were some wild pitches yesterday.
Oh yeah,
wild.
his fundamentals are top notch, and
him like not letting it get by so that the base runners advance. Like that could have been game changing, and he like finds a way to keep it.
He's a
in
stud,
front of him.
and he's back there all the time. And Heineman's been really good this year. Like they've used 2 catchers all year. You know, like Kirk had that concussion and they had to adjust, but for the most part, both guys have been healthy and performing. And that's a position. You know, it's not to the same extent as quarterback or goaltending, but it's not far off. Where if you can be comfortable pushing that aside and not having to think about it,
right?
Very comforting.
Yeah,
like very comforting knowing that you have that position solidified. Because if you have a guy back there that doesn't have an arm or doesn't have the ability to block balls or doesn't hit and it's just a black hole at the plate, whatever it is, you know, it has a ripple effect on the lineup. But Kirk has been great.
And he's competitive, too. Like,
he is.
Tell he competes. Like,
runs around, no gloves, no elbow pat, nothing.
Outrageous.
He's just burning around the bases.
Yeah.
And he was great last night. Vladdy hit a home run and Springer hit another one.
Yeah.
Like George Springer.
Dude, he's on fire, man.
Yeah, like we talked about it yesterday, you know, the where he'd rank in the MVP race. And I'm curious where FanDuel has him, actually. Ryan, look that up, where the updated, you know, odds are. Because you know it's going to be either Cal Raleigh or Aaron Judge. Like, that's your 1-2 in the American League. One of them's going to win the MVP. The other one's going to get all of the votes, you know, as the very, very clear-cut, obvious second choice.
Well, it's going to be Raleigh. Hasn't Judge missed some time where that's going
to
a
lot.
Cost
but
them?
It's going to be interesting in baseball because, you know, Judge's numbers are so crazy. Now, Raleigh's are amazing, too.
Right.
Amazing. But Judge is such a freak of nature in terms of production. And baseball voters are different. They look at the sport differently.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if your team wins or loses. It's all about an individual award and how good you are compared to other greats. But I think Raleigh likely wins it, and Judge will finish second. Tarek Skubal, the ace out of Detroit, has been kind of the third choice for the better part of the summer. I got to think Springer's chasing that down, though. He can't be far from third in terms of MVP rankings in the American League. The guy's numbers are crazy.
The way he's played.
Yeah, he's been
an
phenomenal.
Unbelievable story.
He's been unreal.
And a great leader, too. You can see he brings that emotion and passion. The guys kind of fall in right behind it.
Yes.
It's impressive.
No, it's really impressive. Yeah, it's a great story. The fact that he's battled back and, you know, he's
Not
found
just
a way to
battled
contribute.
back, like he's
a prominent
main
player.
character.
He's a marquee guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. He's a main character on the team.
Yeah. Like he's not an aging kind of, hey, he's had a good year for an old guy, whatever. Like he's a main character of the success
He's
of that
hitting
team.
leadoff again, which was that's what he did his whole career. That's what he did when he showed up. Or there were times last year, man, he'd be hitting 7th, 8th in the lineup. They're basically trying to blend him into the lineup. Yeah. Now they're saying go out and hit a home run your first at bat, which is what he just did.
Yeah.
Like just go out there, set the tone, hit a home run. And that's exactly what happened last night.
Punch in the gut, too. When first pitch, you'd nail it out.
Yeah,
as
I know.
a pitcher, like as a goalie, I remember, like I've been scored on first shot. It's awful.
That one's
You're like, okay, how's the night going to unfold when you're already chasing the game?
Yeah.
Like that stings. That stings. Like pitchers, they have to be mentally sharp because you've got to be able to forget it immediately after the guy knocks one literally out of the park.
I wonder what the stats are.
That guy from the Reds last night, he either struck somebody out or it was a home run.
Yeah,
it
that
was one or
outrageous.
That was their whole staff, man.
Yeah.
That was the whole night, like the chase hit. How many hits did they have last night? They had 18 hits. 5 home runs.
That Reds team actually has some players on it.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
How about Ke'Bryan Hayes?
Ke'Bryan Hayes.
One of the great
names,
man.
I don't know what it is. I know it's because of you, but I see Ke'Bryan. I think they pronounce it Ke'Bryan.
It is. It's Ke'Bryan Hayes.
Yeah.
Which has I like that even more.
Yeah, it's got
he's a good player.
Got some sizzle to it, man.
But he's like a Gold Glove third baseman.
He's a good player.
He's kind of like Willie Mays Hayes, though. Like he can't hit. He can field like crazy.
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah, nice catch, Hayes.
Yeah.
Don't ever do it again. That's basically Ke'Bryan Hayes. But now they're off today and in New York tomorrow. The Yankees lost last night. The Sox lost last night. So Jays are up 3.5. They're off tonight. Back in action at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. So we'll tee that up, significantly tomorrow. We've got Luke Willson in studio at 5. Al's brother will join us in about an hour as well. Hazenbro on the clock tonight. And Jerry Jones, he's going to be in Philly clearly tonight.
Right.
Like he travels with the team. I'm curious, how much we see him tonight, how much of a part of the, broadcast he's going to be because of the Parsons stuff.
He's
and
always
I don't think it's going to be any more, Brian. They usually show him when Dallas gets scored on or there's an interception or something really goofy happens. I don't think because of the trade it's going to be any more or any less. I find what's crazy reported out of these two teams that are playing tonight is that one of the teams wanted Parsons.
Right, Philly.
Does Philly actually think, as crazy as Jerry is, that he would have pulled the trigger on that? Or maybe Jerry would have. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it turns out that I guess Jerry didn't because of the rivalry and because of tonight. That's a big part of it. You're going into Philly. The Eagles are putting a Super Bowl banner up. If you traded Micah Parsons to the Eagles and that lunatic was running out of the tunnel to chase Dak tonight, I don't know how Jerry could ever fly back to Dallas. But it is, I would guess, standard practice for most teams that they don't like trading with rivals, especially like really prominent players in trades. Because it was Schefter. Schefter reported today that the Eagles were calling on him and wanted to find a way to acquire him, and Jones basically said, no, we're not trading him inside the division.
I would have to verify this. Battle of Alberta in hockey, Edmonton and Calgary. I believe they'd never traded players until like Steve Stais. I think when I was in Calgary in whatever it was, 08 or 09, we got Steve Stais from Edmonton.
Right.
Which I believe was one of the first times I think that they ever traded.
Didn't they trade Neil and Lucic?
But that was after. That
was like long, and it was both of them were like reclamation projects.
I think it was at that time though the first time those organizations had ever dealt with each other.
Wow,
can't be.
JP saying
like
yes. 2010.
Somebody has to check that out because I'm trying to verify that because I remember being on the coaching staff. And I think it was like, hey, we got Steve Stais. I was like, oh, we'd never gotten anybody.
Yeah.
Calgary had never traded with Edmonton before.
Well, it is the entertainment business, and you do have to consider how your fans are going to react.
Yeah.
Like, it is a great question in sports. Like, are you cool with the deal if it's in the best interest of your team?
Enough going to Ottawa.
I was just thinking that. Where it benefited both sides.
It did.
Dion was on that Ottawa team that went to a conference final.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, they were a good team, and the Leafs needed to move on from that era.
And the contracts, all of that.
Exactly. And Ottawa was one of the few teams that could take on his contract.
And they took on all of it, didn't they?
Yes.
Well, yes,
they did.
That was when Jared Cowan with the hip tightness came.
Right. That was Babcock's first year.
There was some.
But then after that, Ottawa picked up Zaitsev, too. Remember when they needed to unload that, and Connor Brown went with them?
Yeah, I do believe it happens. It's just I was around, I believe, that first time something happened to a rivalry team which you really had never dealt with.
Right.
And I think, like I say, in the NFL or other sports, I'm sure there's stories like that. It's like we just don't deal with them.
Yeah, well, and here's an example of it.
Right.
Right. And I think lesser profile players, you'd probably be more open to doing it.
Exactly.
Parsons in Philly, when they just won a Super Bowl.
That would be outrageous.
I can understand why that's a tough one to chew on if you're Jerry Jones. But what if they offered you the best package?
That's it, man. That's why I wouldn't care. In the division, Super Bowl, first game of the season, you give me a better package, I'm doing it. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like you chew on it for one night, you might get smoked. Whatever happens tonight, you walk out of the building, you're probably going to lose anyway, and it's over with.
Yeah.
Best package, take the player.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is in most sports now. There's crazy the rivalries and the way teams trade with each other now, especially in hockey. Nobody cares. They're like, oh, long-time rival, you want this guy? Yeah, we'll take him.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's more ownership getting out of the way, and that's why this didn't happen because Jerry Jones is the owner.
Yeah.
Where a lot of it was owners didn't want to do that because they don't like the other guy or they don't want their fans, where management moves everywhere and works everywhere.
Do what's best for your team and your organization at that time. And you're right. There are rivalries where you're like, we probably shouldn't do this or whatever. The fans have a bitter hatred for each other. But ultimately, you're like, I'll take that player who's going to help my team. That's what you're trying to do.
Well, in Philly's an example. They were happy to do it because they were getting Parsons.
Yeah.
They weren't thinking, well, we better not trade within our division. They're like, if you're going to give up that guy, we will take him.
Yeah.
Right? We just saw it with the Leafs, even though they never got an opportunity to do it. I think if Brad Marchand was available, they would have signed him.
Yes.
Leaf fans have hated him for 15 years.
But would die to have him.
Die to have him.
Yeah, of course you take him on your team.
Of course.
Makes you better.
Yeah.
Of
course.
But I think maybe, are you saying more it's like modern sports where 20 years ago, that just was unheard of?
Yeah, Seemingly. I mean,
Seemingly,
there's an
again.
example with the Battle of Alberta. It just didn't happen. I don't remember growing up like a lot of Leafs-Habs deals. Like I know there were
Plekanec.
some. Well, that was one that happened.
Right?
That was modern, right? That was
Right.
like 8-9 years ago. They picked him
Which
up.
was still
That was the
weird.
one where they didn't want to go all in. They just wanted to say, we got to give you something. So
Yeah.
it was Plekanec one year, and then it was Brian Boyle, and it was like, that's all you get.
Yep.
It's just like
Same thing.
you look at that, and it was like, why?
It was a second rounder for a third or fourth line center.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They gave up a second, I think, for Boyle, a second for Plekanec.
He never looked right in a Leafs uniform.
No. Well, he played over 1,000 games for the Habs.
He was a very good player.
Plekanec was there for a long, long time.
But it didn't look, some guys, I've seen it recently over the summer on Instagram and Twitter where it's like you forget that players, like how it doesn't look right.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look right for, a Ginla in an LA Kings uniform or whatever. However, Ray Bourque ended or however these other guys ended in Chris Osgood or Marty Brodeur in St. Louis.
Yeah, that was a really weird
Just
one.
looked weird, right? But like,
Plekanec was weird. You know why? Because the turtleneck was the same colors.
yes, it was always
He didn't change the color of the
Just
turtleneck.
that he stuck with it.
Yeah.
He
See,
was
look
the
at that.
turtleneck guy.
That
was a
turtleneck.
weird one, man. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
He didn't bring much to the table either. He was done there.
That was the
the
what?
Habs fleeced.
Oh, you know what that was? That was your Yannick Perreault. We brought in Yannick Perreault.
Yep.
That was JFJ standing there saying, announcing to the team, we brought in Yannick Perreault.
That's
Well,
exactly what
I
it
can neither confirm or deny that.
Yeah. Well,
was. That's what
but
it
that's
was.
I don't remember much. Same thing. Like I played for the Islanders and Rangers. Like those. Now there's been lots of interactions with those teams over the years, but those are hated rivals.
Well, you know what usually happens in those scenarios is there's a team that's the little brother that's afraid of looking bad. And in that example, I would guess it's the Islanders.
Right.
Now, the Islanders had their own great run and dynasty, which changed a lot.
Right.
But they're in the bubble of the Rangers, and I'm sure they're cognizant of that. Like, we don't want to lose a deal to the Rangers.
Right.
Like, our fans would take that so personally.
Sure.
Where, that doesn't necessarily apply with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Dallas is Dallas. I mean, they're the biggest sports brand going or real close to it.
But the Eagles are the winners.
Eagles
right?
are Super Bowl champs.
Dude, it's such a layup, man. That's going to be such a crushing. Like, just call Al's brother right now and lay it in there. Like, it's a joke.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
It's a joke.
We'll let you know. We're on the clock.
There are some people, though. I don't know. Ryan Clark's one of them. Ryan Clark said some crazy stuff today.
Yes, he did.
And, oh, my God, did he say some crazy stuff. I think this guy said, well, one thing he said is he thinks Dallas, Prescott 2 years ago, second in MVP voting. He thinks he's going to be a major problem tonight. He thinks Dak Prescott against Philly is going to be a major problem. And the craziest thing he said, Hayes, today was what?
That Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning were not generational talents.
What?
Yeah.
That
But John Elway, and I think he said Andrew Luck or something,
yes,
dude.
he said Luck was turning into that, and he said Patrick Mahomes is generational, which to me, yes, he is. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
But he wasn't
why are you
coming out of
throwing
college.
Brady in
Why
there?
is Tom Brady
Exactly.
not generation?
And Peyton Manning was a first overall pick phenom that won 5 MVPs. If that's not a generational talent, obviously the goalposts have moved. I don't know what the hell Ryan Clark was talking about. Like there
I don't
are
either.
times where, we've all done it. You get galaxy braining and you start saying things, and then you're like, man, I don't know where I was going with that one. I feel like that's what happened to him.
You think
Like,
he just overstepped?
I think he got off the air and he's like, I can't believe I just said that.
yeah.
Like somebody Orlovsky must have grabbed him by the arm and said, "Do you know that you just said Tom Brady is not a generational talent?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
are you?" What?
Yes, unless there was some deeper
You think
definition of the term that I'm not aware of.
You think he makes a retraction? Like, do you think he comes back on?
He won't retract, but he'll have to
He'll
deeply
be like,
explain.
hey, you know what? I feel like
This will be, let me sleep on it, and I got to come with some heat to explain.
The next
what I
time
meant by
he's
that.
on TV, he's going to have to
But-
explain that. There's just
Yeah.
no other way
But
around
there are
it.
people,
Yeah.
like, I feel like, Bill Simmons will, like, double down on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, listen,
like
you got to take, and I think it was coming off the Arch Manning stuff,
Right.
Where he's being labeled generational, and obviously, as of now, with one game in the books, it didn't necessarily look like it. I think it's also completely ridiculous to change your whole opinion of a guy because of one game one way or the other.
Right.
But I think that was the driving, force of the conversation. But I don't know how Brady takes shrapnel in that.
Yeah.
And listen, Tom Brady's popping off too. Tom's doing interviews and he's talking about, young quarterbacks aren't prepared and aren't as smart. And
he hates everything, man.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks everything is so average, the quarterback play. And that's probably because he's sniffed out that guys aren't in the video room, and he knows what everybody does. So that's why everything's below his standard.
Yet he's got a shield because he's Brady. Like his opinion is something you obviously have to respect. You may not agree with everything, but he's seen it all. He's done it all. He's Tom Brady.
Have you seen, I just watched it. That's why I bring it up. That Built in Birmingham, the Brady, it's on Amazon Prime.
No.
It's unbelievable. So he owns that team in Birmingham, like the soccer team.
Oh, okay. So he's like Ryan Reynolds. He's got a team over there?
And they're playing against Reynolds' team because they get relegated. And it's behind the scenes with Brady. And all he does is swear. Like, it's unbelievable.
Really? Okay, I got to check that out.
All you see is Tom Brady being interviewed and on the way to the games, after the games, him and this other guy, I can't remember his name, bought the team. And it's like an A-list. They're trying to make it an A-list team now. It's called Built in Birmingham.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Isn't that just stealing from Ryan Reynolds and the guy from
their team
It's Always
got
Sunny in
moved up,
Philadelphia?
like above Ryan Reynolds.
No, I know, but like we're going to go buy some team in small town, England and try to build it up like you guys
God,
did.
it's an unbelievable series. And Brady, shoots from the hip.
Okay.
Everything, he's pretty funny and lots of swearing, it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
I never have time to watch any of this stuff.
I watched it
and I always say the same thing. Okay, I'll check it out. And I never do.
You should check it out.
Right.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
I'll try my best.
You'll love it.
I mean, across the board. Like, people throw stuff at me all the time. Everyone does. That's just, you got to watch this. And,
Mobland.
Yeah, of course. I'll check that out.
Great shows out there right now. But
with the NFL back, there is a 0% chance I'm going to watch anything other than football.
That's fair.
Football, baseball, hockey's around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Pierre LeBrun's coming up. His Cowboys are playing tonight. We'll catch up with him on all these CBA changes that are coming. How different is the league going to feel? And McDavid's still out there looking for a deal. They all have a year left. But McDavid, Eichel, Kaprizov, Kyle Connor, there's some big names coming in the next year. Who signs first, for how much? Where does it go from here? And he caught up with Brad Treliving yesterday as well for a piece in The Athletic. We'll see what the Leafs still have in store a couple of weeks out from camp. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN Plus.
The NFL returns to TSN 1050 tonight as the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles take on their division rival Dallas Cowboys. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Luke Willson in studio in half an hour. Hayes and Bro on the clock tonight. Eagles, Cowboys. Big spread. Big spread. Not a lot of people believing in the Dallas Cowboys, but maybe our next guest is one of the very few believers.
He's a diehard. He believes that they're going to go in and win.
No, I don't believe he believes that. He's a realist. For the most part, he's a realist with the Cowboys.
I've heard that he gets pretty worked up.
He does.
He's not a realist. Give your head a shake, man.
Okay, here's Pierre LeBrun. Are you a realist or what? Or do you think Dallas is going to go in and win tonight?
No, I don't think they'll win tonight. I think it'll be a competitive game, though. I think there's been a big overreaction to the Michael Parsons trade as far as where the Cowboys are. They were never a great team before the trade, and they're certainly not a great team now, but I think they'll be a competitive team this year. But they're playing the best team in the world tonight. So
That's right.
I don't think they'll win. I will say this. I happened to have the show on when the trade broke, and it was pretty amazing in real time that it broke while you guys were on air. And as much fun as it was to see you guys dissect the trade in real time, did a great job at it. I thought almost equally as stunning as the deal itself was your reaction, Hayes, when Luke Willson said, "I'm not so sure Green Bay won this trade in real time."
Yes.
Well, do you agree with that,
Shocking.
Pierre?
Well, no, I listen, this is a lazy take, but the team that has the best player in any trade normally wins the trade. I will say this. I think what Luke was trying to say is it's rare for, I know he's coming on, but it's pretty rare in the NFL to trade a couple of first-round picks. Whether or not those picks ends up helping the Cowboys, who knows? But for the wrong time of year to make a deal of this magnitude, and I think other NFL insiders have commented on this, the Cowboys probably did almost as well as they could. The problem is that they should have never been in that pickle to begin with. But given where they ended up fumbling this thing with the franchise defensive superstar, they probably did as well as they could in that moment. That doesn't excuse the fact that Jerry Jones should not be trying to negotiate deals without agents with franchise players, and that's a disaster.
No kidding. Well, let's transition to the NHL, where agents are involved with. Well, I just want to, because you put it on a platter there for me in terms of negotiating, because we're a year out from Connor McDavid, Jack Eichel, Kirill Kaprizov, Kyle Connor. Like, those are 4 superstars, man.
Yeah, big names.
Big names. None of them have signed extensions. Are you surprised by that? And do you think any of them will sign before opening night?
I'm surprised that none of them have, and I'm surprised that some have dragged out. McDavid, it was clear before a lot of us went on holidays, and we talked about this, he was never going to be a hurry. I mean, we had said we didn't think it was going to be a July 1st thing, but,
what's he not in a hurry, though, for, Pierre? Like, what is
I
is
think
he
my
looking
understanding, for? My understanding of the situation is that he's going through his own internal process with his agent, John Moldaver, where this isn't about, I hope everyone understands, this isn't like they started going back and forth on numbers and terms. That part of it's going to be the easiest part. When McDavid says he's ready to sign, that'll be a 5-minute negotiation because he holds all the leverage, and it'll be, here's what I want and for how many years. The process is that McDavid has had a number of conversations with Oilers management, but more importantly with his own agent about what the future holds. What is this team? What does this team look like in a few years? And that's important to him. He's a really smart dude. And before committing a number of years to them, I think he wants to know in his heart and mind what he's committing to. That should not scare anyone in Edmonton, although I guess it does, that it wasn't a slam dunk. But he's just being super careful and working his way through it. And whenever it is that he wakes up one day and decides, okay, I've brought myself to the end of this process, now we're ready to go to the next level and negotiate, then he'll tell his agent. But until that moment happens, that's where they are. And I met with Stan Bowman yesterday at the GM meetings in Detroit, and Bowman insisted that they understood that this was the process 97 would go through, and that they're being super patient. They're not being pushy about it from their end. They're just sitting there saying, hey, we'll be ready when you guys are ready. And in the meantime, they've had a number of conversations with the agent, and it's pretty cordial, the back and forth, but none of that matters till number 97 decides he's ready. And that could be next week. It could be in a month. It could be around Christmas. Who knows when he decides he's ready? It could be tomorrow. But the reality is he just hasn't been comfortable yet going next level in that conversation.
So, Pierre, let me just ask you this to close on McDavid, and we can get to some of the other guys. If you were hosting a Q&A with some Oiler fans and one of them asked you, when would you start to get panicky, what would your answer be? Like, at what point of the season? Because the same thing happened with John Tavares. It was like, this is business. I got to weigh all my options. I got to do this. And then January, it was, it's business, man. This is between my agent and the GM. It's business. And then the season ended, same stuff. And then all of a sudden, he had a Leaf jersey on.
Yeah. Well, by the way, apropos nothing, well, I guess not apropos nothing, Leon Draisaitl signed his extension exactly a year ago yesterday on September 3rd. I mean, I think you have to start getting nervous as an Oilers fan once the puck drops in October if there's no extension. That, again, I'm telling you, that doesn't mean it can't happen during the year, because I think part of what McDavid is going through is, what does this team look like, this season and beyond. I will also tell you that regardless of how this plays out, I think it's really important to McDavid. Like, let's say he doesn't sign. And I think that's the least likely of the options, but let's say that's where he ends up bringing himself to. I'm pretty sure it's important to him, I think, in a way, to make sure the Oilers get value in return if there's ever an exit. Like, he really cares about that marketplace a ton. But again, that would not be among my top options. I think he ends up signing. I don't think it's for long term. I think that if he signs, it's for shorter term, whether that's short or medium, you pick. I think that it's about still wanting to try and win a cup in Edmonton, but I don't know, how many years that would be for. That's just my guess. Obviously, no one involved is even there, so you are guessing, but that's where I would be on it.
With Pierre LeBrun, our TSN Hockey Insider. So Eichel, Kaprizov, Connor, where are we at with those guys then? Like Kyle Connor in particular, because he plays for a Canadian team.
Yeah. So you said Eichel and Kaprizov, and where else did you want to go? And
Kyle Connor.
Oh, yeah, Kyle Connor, yeah. So on Eichel, just because I ran into Kelly McCrimmon yesterday on the way out of the GM meetings, he was careful with what he said, but seemed pretty confident that they've been a great match there since Eichel got to Vegas and that they would get something done at some point. That seemed pretty confident to me. So I don't think Eichel's going anywhere. I think he'll end up signing, and I think he loves life there. Kaprizov, the owner himself, Craig Leopold, was quoted yesterday by my colleague Joe Smith in The Athletic as saying, I think we're almost there. I don't think it – I think the comment has been missed. I think there's some context. I don't think he means that they've negotiated this right to the end. I think what the owner was saying is that they're in the ballpark of where it needs to be once they sit in the room and get going for real. And Kaprizov's supposed to arrive in Minneapolis next week. So I think that one gets done. I don't have a feel for Connor, and that's probably mostly because I didn't have a chance to run into Cheveldayoff in Detroit. So on that one, I don't have a sense for it at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. These are,
which means nothing. It just means I don't have.
No, I hear you. But these are big name players, man.
You think they're waiting to see if 97 signs and maybe that resets the market a little bit, like
for everyone else?
Those guys don't care about 97, do they, Jamie?
Well, I'm just saying.
Although the Minnesota owner said Kaprizov's deal is going to blow everything out of the water. I don't even know what that means.
He did. He did say that, O-Dog, and that's very interesting. It shows you how desperate I think they are to keep him, because it's not easy to always lure players to Minnesota, I guess. But also, listen, he's an electrifying player, but he's not a blank check guy for me. I don't know what you guys think. Listen, amazing player. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be radioed here, but there are certain blank check guys, and there's only a handful in the whole league, and I don't know that I have Kaprizov as one of them myself.
No, I agree with that.
The only thing I would say, but you actually led your comment with it, Minnesota wants to keep him. That's where you could argue, I don't know, we can go around the table, is he a top 10 player when he's healthy? He's close.
He's just on the outside for me, but it's semantics. He's a really talented, very good player.
But I think there was a time maybe a couple of years ago we'd have to look at our rankings, TSN ranking. I believe he was in the top 10.
I think what you're trying to say, Jamie, is maybe he's not a blank check player, but for Minnesota, he has to be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Minnesota, he has to be that.
Yeah, they'd never have stars.
They
just
Gabbert.
never.
That was it.
Yeah, exactly. And they signed Parise and they signed Suter. But, Kaprizov, it's clearly a high priority, and it should be. And if they can make it work, then, good for him, good for them.
Yeah.
With Pierre LeBrun, I guess you caught up with Brad Treliving, too, and I saw you wrote something in The Athletic. Are they get the impression the Leafs are comfortable with the work they've done, or is the door open, or maybe they want to walk through the door and possibly add more pieces?
Yeah, I think what you just said is the sense I got from Treliving, in the sense that, one comment he gave me, was that they think the group they have right now currently on paper is probably what they'll have come into camp. So for now, good with what they have. But at the same token, he mentioned several times in the interview that, they're always looking to see if there's a way to upgrade. And, the Leafs are similar to a bunch of teams. Remember we talked about this before the summer came, that there are going to be too many teams trying to add and not enough pieces for sale. Or this year was one of those unique off seasons, and the Leafs, in some ways, got caught like a lot of teams where they didn't quite were able to do what they wanted in the void that Mitch Marner's exit created, which is not shocking. There weren't that many guys available. They continue to make those calls. The Leafs have cap flexibility for the first time in a long time. That's the upside of losing Marner, is that the Leafs haven't been this flexible in the cap in a long time. And so Tree Living did say that they'll continue to examine that. And what I read between the lines there is that an in-season trade, a tangible one, is possible for them, if they can make that work. But they want to see what they have first, I think, is what I got from him. And that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of it is the same team, right? But I guess Michelli's here and Waz here and Joshua's here. But
yeah, right. Cowan, I guess.
Yeah, and Cowan if he ends up making the team. But all right, Pierre. Well, we'll see what the Cowboys have in store tonight. I'm leaning Eagles and laying the points, but you're kind of giving the indication
maybe
you think
Dak.
it could be
maybe
close.
Maybe Dak has a night.
Maybe it's within a touchdown. It's a lot of points.
Yeah, man. The first game jitters. Stupid stuff happens. They're disorganized. Not everything's tight. It's
on both sides, including the champs.
And I think this is a terrible thing to say about the team I love, but the Cowboys tend to play up as underdogs and play terrible when the whole world thinks they should win. So
what?
So I actually think they like being in this seat where everyone's written them off. I'm telling you, again, I think they're going to lose, but I think it might be a bit of a show, though.
Someone wrote that and said, it's the Leafs. They're the same team. They're the same experience.
But Pierre, deep down, I think there's a layer that he thinks they're going to win.
Right, because of what he just said.
He just said that, yeah.
But the point being is they'll win tonight, and then they'll lose next week against, the Giants at home.
Yes.
And that's the Cowboys.
I'm going to Dallas.
So there you go.
The Giants, so that would be exactly what would happen.
That's what will happen. I saw a fan write that. Said, "Watch, you want to know what the Cowboys' life is like? They win tonight and then get blown out by the Giants next week.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's Cowboy football.
Yeah,
that's how we operate. Well, we'll see.
I've seen it all with those clowns.
I know. All right, buddy. Enjoy the game tonight.
Good to be back, guys. Thanks.
There he is, Pierre LeBrun, our TSN hockey insider. Yeah, we'll see
that happening.
We'll see. That's again for the Leafs, and they're not going to. I don't think they're going to do anything between now and camp. I would maybe a PTO.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
I guess sign a couple of PTOs.
I think there's still a couple good players out there that are kind of waiting, like the Roslovic. He's a good player. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's a PTO for somebody.
Pacioretty's still going to play?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
he was skating with a team, and the team, whoever they were, had their full gear on, and he had a tracksuit on.
That's not good.
Shorts or what?
I was like, I don't know if that means he's playing.
Yeah, that is difficult.
Yeah,
that's
like it was like his agent texted him before he went on the ice and said the texts are drying up, so he said, I'm just going with the tracksuit today.
Yeah, I didn't see that viz, but yeah, that's a little bit concerning in terms of the messaging for the rest of the league, but we'll see. But there's guys out there that, will get PTOs. It happens all the time. There's a big PTO crunch.
Well, Lucic signed a PTO in
St. Louis.
St. Louis, right?
Yeah, St. Louis. And
I think there'll
be other guys.
Yeah, exactly.
There'll definitely be other guys. But as for the Leafs, I'm not bracing for some blockbuster deal between now and opening night.
No, I don't think so.
What they have is what they likely have. All right, we've got Luke Willson coming up in about 15 minutes in studio ahead of opening night. Cowboys-Eagles. We'll get to our picks. We'll tee up the whole season. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
The NFL returns to TSN 1050 tonight as the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles take on their division rival Dallas Cowboys. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Luke Willson in studio at 5 o'clock. Catch up with Luke, get his take on a game tonight. Pick his brain on who he thinks can win. Can the Eagles repeat? The Eagles, what does Jalen Hurts do now? What does Saquon Barkley do? Can he possibly replicate the season he had last year?
It's tough, man.
I find it hard to believe, but it's almost like a chip on his shoulder. The guy had an unbelievable year, won a ring, and people are doubting him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back at it.
Same thing
Wasn't
with
there
Kansas
like
City.
a ranking? I don't know if it was a video game or the players where he was literally ranked like the best player.
Yeah, the NFL Network, the player poll.
Yeah.
And he was ranked number 1. I want to say Lamar was 2, Allen 3, Jamar Chase 4, Mahomes 5. And
Dude, wouldn't that make you sick if you're a Giants fan?
well, of course, that's a great point. They trade him.
Like, oh my god!
But there's what we're
and then
talking
the guy's
about.
the best player in the league.
Trading within the, although I think he signed as a free agent technically, but they could have kept him.
Yes.
Right? They could have kept him, and they chose not to, so he went to Philly and signed. So it wasn't technically a trade, but that is sickening. You took him second overall. He was your guy, and now he's breaking records and winning Super Bowls and ranked as the best player in football.
And although, like his tenure in New York, Hayes, he was injured a lot. Wasn't
Injured
he
a
not?
lot.
Like,
Team wasn't great. You know, he had flashes of greatness, of course, and he always had the talent. I think it's clear the Giants are just they didn't help him out. They didn't put him in a position to succeed.
Not like the Tuukka Rask situation. It's not like.
I don't know why you need to bring that up.
But it's
that was just a kick in the junk.
Like Tuukka's. But they're exactly trading within the division. Within the division, and that guy haunts you for 15 years.
Yeah, runs off.
Some jerk put up a board the other day, like most wins by Leaf drafted goalies, and there was Tuukka, and they even put him in the Bruins like jersey.
Right at the top.
I think he was 1.
Yeah. I think I saw that too.
He's won more games in NHL history in terms of a Leaf draft pick.
Like I think that's
Leaf drafted goalie.
Leaf drafted goalie. He's number 1, I believe.
Look that up
It
behind
is
the
something.
class to make us puke in
It's
the next
very
hour if you
upsetting.
want.
It's very upsetting.
I guess the draft wasn't around when, Turk Broda and Johnny Bauer and those
exactly.
guys.
Like this, but
so post 70 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think
Tuukka
Leaf
was really
drafted
good.
goalies. Tuukka was 1. And
Won
he had
more
they
games
had the
than anyone
audacity to put him in the Bruins jersey.
Yeah. Well, he was a Bruin for life.
I know, but
still,
it was
I know,
tough.
it is
It was
sickening.
tough to watch.
It is sickening.
Yeah.
But, we'll see if the Eagles, what they have in store. But the chip on the shoulder stuff is interesting. And again, Mahomes is sitting there saying, really? 5? Okay. All right, you want to put me at 5?
Yeah.
See what comes of it, man.
Exactly.
Like he's morphed into Brady, finding different reasons to basically tell the rest of the league, you've got something coming your way.
Agreed.
Luke Willson on that and more coming up in hour 2. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
With Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
If you smell what the
When Willson
is cooking.
All right, it's been a while, man. I haven't heard that intro in a long time.
Hey!
Getting flashbacks.
Let's
There
go.
He is. Luke Willson in the house. Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. A little pro athlete salute between the O-Dog and Luke.
There it is. There it is. Partsy, we need our
don't
hats.
even think.
I
Just
have your hats. I have your hats.
don't even think about pulling a fast one and saying this year.
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna
no,
stiff
no,
the O-Dog and go with Al's brother.
I would never do. Al's brother.
Okay. Al's brother's coming up. He's waiting patiently right now. He'll be joining us at some point.
Al's brother's podcast, buddy. I have a video of him calling you a fraud on my phone.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Al's brother's buddy?
His podcast, his compadre, Morsuti.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone.
So was he saying it
He
like,
said, "Hayes a fraud."
like authentically?
I'll let
actually,
you interpret it.
That's
Is he,
upsetting.
is he trying to start a fight with
I
our
think he's
show?
trying to
I
start
think
a
so.
fight. Yeah.
Is Al's brother is he getting into the trenches, and that's how they're trying to get
I think so.
viewers and listeners? Okay, I might have to answer.
I didn't know he had
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
we
it's
go.
Locked On Leafs, I think, or something like
I'm
that.
not
right?
sure. I'm
yeah,
not
Al's
sure.
brother's
yeah,
got
yeah.
questions on it.
I want to
know
let
that,
you know
yeah.
that, in Partsy, I want to let you know that anyone I'm associated with, if they were to call you a fraud, I'd punch them in the face.
Okay, I'll
you
do
go.
that. And you're right,
Likewise,
Al's
pal.
brother, he should have had
Likewise.
that response.
Yeah, he should have backed you up.
I'm going to have a word with him in a little bit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'll talk
He
to
should have
him.
backed you up. That's your partner.
That is
Unbelievable.
disappointing.
Disappointing.
If that's accurate, I think there may be some fake news.
Yeah,
in
he's
this.
probably stirring the pot. Right to start here, 5 o'clock, stir the pot.
Disappointing. What do you think? We're the CFL?
Yeah, exactly. What is going on? Like, how has your
going on
experience been?
It's been
With the
really
CFL.
tough. It's been really tough.
Why? What's going on?
I'll tell you, Noodles, what gets strange with the CFL for me is that there's people in the CFL that want to be promoted, but they really want cheerleaders. And I don't think I'm a cheerleader. So I'll go back to the last game. Everybody wants to talk about, hey, Arbuckle, who's playing awesome for the Argos right now, and Chad Kelly. And it's a great topic of conversation. But what gets strange for me is if this were any other pro sport, the big topic would have been how on earth Kenny Lawler got to, when the Argos are up 5, Kenny Lawler goes to the slot, is in motion, and there's no safety help over the top. We hit Kenny Lawler for a massive play, and then we hit him in the end zone. And both plays, Kenny Lawler was sick. Great routes.
Yeah.
But, to me, that would be the equivalent of, if Connor McDavid is on the ice in a tie game with 30 seconds to go, and we have our third defensive pairing out there. Yeah, but so we're not allowed to
missed assignment.
Correct. If we were to talk about that coaching decision or that defensive structure, I would be tarred and feathered because it'd be bad. It's, you can't say that about the coaches. You can't go after the players. And I'm not trying to go after them, just being like, how does that happen? How does that happen? Yeah. But on the flip side, it's like, hey, man, this is a great combo. Let's talk about this. It's like, yeah, it's good for the league. And I can't be muzzled. You can't have it both ways.
Fair enough.
And now all of a sudden everyone wants to paint me as the bad guy. And I'm like, it's ridiculous. I think we should cover the league like it's professional. If you want to be a pro league, are you guys easy on the Leafs?
No, I wouldn't say we are.
You're fair on them.
I think we're fair.
You're fair on them.
I think we're
if they're great,
fair.
we pump their tires, and if they stink the joint out, we have
Which is
to talk
not how the
it.
CFL is covered. I'm just telling you right now, and that's why it's been a struggle for me. Partly, and it drives me insane because the guys who get hurt are the players, specifically the Canadian guys, who have come up to me numerous times thanking me on the sideline. Hey, I appreciate what you're trying to do for the league. But that's not how that league is covered. So I get worried. If you guys talk about the CFL the way you talk about other sports, I'm telling you, there'll be people. There'll be powers that be. I got to watch my language. And you'll be getting phone calls.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah. You'll be getting phone calls.
Your phone battery must be on low.
God, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Okay.
I've watched this. I grew up in Edmonton. So
Yeah.
back then they were called the Eskimos. Now they're the Elks. They're not very good this year.
They're terrible.
They've been terrible for years.
terrible.
They're struggling. Okay, but I keep an eye on them because a lot of my friends are still season ticket holders.
Yeah.
They go. They are diehards. That is a very passionate fan base.
Agreed.
But so is the CFL. Period.
Yes.
Individually, those cities, they love their team.
Totally. And Noodles, this is what I'll say. There's a thing that I can't believe it hasn't been talked about a little more, but Edmonton is a lot better than their record because they now have started Cody Fajardo.
Right.
Cody Fajardo, he's not the prettiest quarterback I've ever seen, but this guy's a grinder. He's very, very gritty. But somehow he's not playing, and the drop-off between him and Trey Ford is astounding. And I'm like, how does that happen? What is going on here to make that decision? And the answer is Trey Ford is Canadian. In my opinion, that's an opinion, not a fact. But it's like now, because he's Canadian, we're not allowed to talk about that
Come on,
decision.
dude. Do you think a guy's going to play a player because he's Canadian and the other guy's
that's how it is in that
better?
league. 100%. Why else would Trey Ford have been starting?
I don't know.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't have the
That just
answers,
seems,
but I
what
just-
is
No
this,
one does.
Pee-wee hockey where the dad's the coach and it's like you're not going out there?
Oh, dog, I use the term, this is very Pee-wee-ish, and then hordes of people are like, this guy is the worst for the CFL ever. And I'm like, no, I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm just being honest.
Well, listen, social media is what it is. People, they're going to yell and scream, and I don't know. I mean, you can't stop being honest or approach it whichever way you want to approach it. But I think we all become victims of worrying about what an egg avatar has to say about anything. And I don't know. There's probably a lot of people out there that are just watching saying, hey, this is entertaining stuff.
exactly.
Or whatever, in terms of where the CFL is going. But,
yes. I think that's it. There's a lot of people that are entertained currently, and they're a bit worried that if
it is the
thing gets too
entertainment business.
big.
Exactly.
Again. I mean, that's ultimately what it comes down to.
We're going to be
right?
out there. When are we going to?
Yeah, we're going to the Argos game on September 19th. We're going to be field side.
It's going to be awesome.
We're going to be right in the mix.
Have you
So
been
are
to
you
Big
done
Wall?
with the CFL now, Partsy?
Oh, no, I'm going to Ottawa tomorrow night. Going to Ottawa tomorrow night.
That's right, Nathan Rourke, your boy.
Nathan Rourke.
Are you and Farhan now in
No.
cahoots with
Okay,
Rourke?
there's another one. Got
to win
carried
the
away.
MVP in the NFL or what?
So I was sitting there this morning.
Yeah.
We're building up some hits for tomorrow's pregame.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I'm like, Rourke, and there's not a ton of this in the CFL. But Rourke is sitting back there. He's going through progressions. He's delivering the ball on time. The CFL, there is a lot of, this will be considered negative, but what I call recess-style football. You've heard me say that about the NFL as well. A lot of the quarterbacks kind of go through read one. Okay, let's move around a little bit. Let's make some off-schedule plays. Rourke can do that, but he's also slinging the pill pretty good. And I said he looks like an NFL guy out there. He's standing in the pocket. He's going through pre-snap reads. It's not a ton of this. There's not a ton, in my opinion.
He's Canadian. Is he starting because of his passport, or is he?
No,
He's a good player.
I think he's the best quarterback in the league.
I don't want to stir the pot here, but I do want you to revisit a comment you made a couple weeks ago about a trade that happened in the NFL.
Yeah. Oh, let's go.
Oh, you're talking
I
Micah
got smoked
Parsons?
on this.
I thought his head was going to blow.
Explode.
Deservedly
Well, his head
so.
was going to blow.
And now we've already got okay. Let's go back. I'm glad you gave me this platform.
I'm giving you the platform because I want you to tell us why that was a poor trade.
Yeah.
Or why it was a win for Dallas.
I
think
wouldn't
the way
say it
you
was a poor
described
trade.
it.
I said at the moment, and we'll see how it's reported, I would give the lean to Dallas. So first and foremost, I'm not a big Jerry Jones guy.
Right.
But facts are facts here. Yeah. I believe since, I don't know the exact year, but Dallas has drafted well. They have drafted well historically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot you can say about Jerry. You cannot say that he's been a poor drafting front office.
Okay, fair enough.
Secondly, you look at the money paid for Micah, and this is where I said we have to wait for the contract details. Before all my boys in Windsor, my guy Nick Corrado is on here sending me texts from his coworkers calling me an idiot. Okay? And I'm like, dude, we need to see what the actual contract was, because if it's reported $47 million, is that $40 million and $7 million in bonus?
Right.
How is it structured? But as it stood at $47 million, I believe Myles Garrett is at $35.5. Don't quote me on that number. But T.J. Watt was at $41. Is Micah Parsons $6 million better than T.J. Watt?
No.
But I don't think that actually is the number in the end.
So then that plays into it.
Yeah, it works out to be about a 3-year deal at like $120 million, and they can move some money around.
Okay, so that plays into it.
Yes, he's likely a little bit ahead of Watt, a little bit ahead of Garrett, which again I think is understandable because the Packers were acquiring him.
Right.
And once you acquire a guy, you got to pay that guy. All the leverage goes to that player.
100%.
Right? Well, could Watt have said, all right, I'm out of here? I guess. But he wanted to stay in Pittsburgh. Myles Garrett shockingly wanted to stay in Cleveland. I don't know why, but he did.
Yes.
So they obviously had some leverage because it was somewhere he was comfortable with.
But now
Parsons was going to get more, and he did in the end.
And I think there's a lot of off-the-field questions, and that's not a crazy take. First and foremost, I can't even imagine doing this as a hockey guy, but you have guys that are trying to make your ball club. You have guys that have sacrificed a lot that are nowhere near the player you are, and you're lying down on a medical table, not even paying attention in the middle of a game?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think that sits the wrong way with a lot of guys in that locker room?
It does.
Last year, he goes on his podcast or in an interview and just absolutely bloodbaths his head coach. His podcast stuff has been absurd. So when you add in all these factors, there's already talks he's got to have an epidural for week 1.
I don't understand how that works, but
I don't understand it either. But what I said is, with the $47 million, I would shade that I actually don't hate the trade for the Cowboys. We'll see how it plays out. Somehow, I get bloodbath by my hometown. One of my closest friends. Guys, dummy in me.
Well, I mean, listen,
dummy in me.
It's a contrarian take. Again, a lot of it is who's the best player. It's Parsons, and Jerry Jones is a buffoon.
Yes.
Like a lot of it is shallow
That's
kind
fair.
of reaction, myself included.
It's fair,
and that's where my counter would go is that you can say what you want about the Packers. They paid a lot. They're generally a very conservative organization. They gave up multiple first-round picks. Kenny Clark was the guy they were going to cut at the end of this year anyway. He's at the end of the road.
And Hayes, there was a lot of talk that Green Bay is now all in, and they're like to be feared,
which
and all
they
of
are.
that jazz. Yeah, of course.
They've been in the playoffs the last 2 years.
Yeah, but that led to a lot of the who won the trade, like just
Yes.
the idea of Green Bay. So they got the piece, and now they're all in.
And furthermore, once the dust settles, you look at it and say, how can I trust Jerry Jones and his big plan?
Facts.
And
I
that's what
agree
just
with that.
kills
I
everything.
agree with that. I will say this to kind of close this up from my standpoint, and this is a personal one, so maybe I've got the blinders on. When I reflect back on my time in Seattle, we had some great teams. And I thought the difference between the year we won, the year we lost in the last play, and some of the later years were those first few years, a lot of our best players were on rookie deals. So we had a ton of guys that weren't household names, but were getting paid $4 or $5 million bucks. Veteran guys that were a backbone of that team. And all of a sudden, and I get why we did it, but when all of a sudden you got to pay Cam, you got to pay Earl, you got to pay Russ, you got to pay all these guys. It's not, the rookies don't feel that. It's the Red Bryants. It's the Brandon Meebanes. It's those style of guys. The Breno Giacomini's, our offensive line, guys that have been 7-8 year guys. We can't pay them.
Right.
And you get a couple injuries and you're thin. So, again, when you sit here, and I this is how I would build a team, but you locked up $55 million with Love, and now you lock up, let's call it $45.
Oh, so hang on a second. You don't
$100
like the concept of loading up a bunch of money in a button like just
In
3 or 4
two guys?
Oh, I didn't know that didn't work. It's an interesting concept.
Listen, you're not wrong, but I would counter with, and what I countered with was if you're going to spend money, you spend it on a quarterback and a pass rusher. Like those are the two guys.
Yeah.
And you spend it on 26-year-olds
So
in their
I
prime.
am glad.
That's
I'd
what I was
like
gonna
to
And they
say,
both
age is
are.
a prime factor.
I'd like to take. I still think at the moment, I'm not like, man, Dallas won this trade. At the moment when it came out, I'm like, we'll see how it plays out.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as black and white as everyone reported.
You can reason with it.
but we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll find out tonight.
Yeah.
Like, how does Dallas stay in
Okay,
this
this
game
is what gets
in Philly?
weird. Is Dallas's defense, I think, is going to be an abomination this year. But offensively, this team is really solid. Are they the best offense in the league? No. Are there a lot of question marks? Yes. But assuming Dak Prescott can figure it out, which is a huge assumption, and be consistent, because he's been great at times.
Right.
But Dak Prescott is allegedly a $60 million quarterback. If he can play to a good standard consistently, they've got CeeDee Lamb and they've got George Pickens. Pickens, who is a mess as far as like his mentals went in Pittsburgh, is one of the most talented receivers in the league. They've invested in their offensive line through the draft.
Right.
Brian Schottenheimer, my former offensive coordinator for a couple years, is an offensive-minded guy. They should be okay. Now, even if they don't look great tonight, they're playing a great defense. They're playing who I have the number 1 ranked team in the league. Offensively, they should be okay. Defensively, oh, my God.
Yeah. Shoot 'em.
Oh, my God.
Like a mess.
I just don't think they're good at any level.
Yeah, and that's the concern in a game like tonight when you're going to Philly. And I just get the impression Dallas is, if you're looking at this objectively, you're banking on the Eagles being distracted. It's opening night, the banner's going up.
Yes.
And then maybe it's a close game.
If there's some, hey, we get a big play to Pickens, we get a big play to CeeDee Lamb, or, which I do not see this happening. I'd be clear these days when I say.
Right.
I do not see this happening. But if somehow they can establish a run game, Javonte Williams is a thumper. He's a good back. Miles Sanders will come in there, be the spill guy. Could that tighten it up? But I'm not trying to. You got a tough line. The line's very tough.
Yeah, 8.5 is a big number, man, for any game.
I would
Divisional.
be very, very, very surprised if the Eagles lose this game.
Yes.
Like, that would blow me away. Could happen, any given Thursday.
Yeah.
But I would
Survivor
be
pick, you pick the Eagles.
Yeah, that's exactly it. With a spread like that, too.
We can't though. We're back. We are back, by the way.
We're back, man. We're
you
back.
can't take a Thursday game
We're
or
on
a Friday.
Three Sunday picks.
Wow.
Yeah, the O-Dog and I were back for another year.
So
the
what's
Eagles,
like your early lean, Hazy? Like it's an automatic Philly pick, is it not?
Well, I listen. I think the Eagles they're clearly the better team. They're at home. The NFC North or the NFC East is a weird division, though, man. Like historically, there's always turnover at the top. Like, why would this year be different? 20 years of turnover, of a different winner every single year. Like the Eagles, they're so talented, and they were so good down the stretch last year, and they were great in the playoffs. Like, they steamrolled over basically everybody.
Except for the Rams.
Except for the Rams.
Here we go.
There he is.
Artsy, yes, I forgot about that. I'm rusty, man.
Never
it's good
forget,
to see you. I
Hazy.
never will.
We can never forget.
We are the champs.
How's it going, boys?
What do you stop? You're
Regular
not the champs.
season champ. Regular season
Yeah,
champ.
what did we end with?
We won the bowl. We
doesn't
won the
matter.
championship.
Regular
What?
season champs, and then you've got the playoff.
Playoff victors.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the last 3 seasons, okay, Partsy and I have won 2 regular seasons and 2 Super Bowls.
All
That's right. That's a good record.
Those guys are 1-1.
Yeah, we're 1-1.
They've lost
Exactly.
2 regular seasons. They lost 2 Super Bowls.
It's all good.
You tell me greatness.
So they're 1 for 3, and you're 2 for 3. Basically.
It's all
Correct.
semantics, Alice, brother. These
Correct.
guys are idiots.
And to be honest, there's an asterisk by the Super Bowl day 1. That was a Doogie special. We tied. We were supposed to have a trivia day, and we didn't have the trivia day.
bogus.
And there was also wasn't there a spotty
Yeah.
prop bet or something that kind of came
Oh,
in?
there was all
Gatorade.
kinds of greasy material.
Yeah.
Al's brother, where are you kind of laying your thoughts on this tilt tonight? Like, give us something.
Where you at,
Oh,
buddy?
I'll tell you what. Look, this game this might be the easiest choice that we have to make all year long. Like, I was so excited when we won the coin toss and we ended up getting this pick because there is nothing, absolutely
take the
nothing
Eagles.
that compels me to take the Dallas Cowboys. Not a single thing. Not a single thing. We want you to lay
wow.
the points and fly, Eagles, fly all day long. is.
Play it.
There
Play
it is. You guys want some tremendous information?
Go for it. I want to see my
What
Partsy's head
phase
pop
is the
right
moon
off.
in? What phase is the moon in?
I got to check, actually. I didn't look. I should have.
They're relevant. That's how much of a layup.
Wow.
That's how much of a layup this pick is. We don't even need a
that
moon
information.
reading. Yeah,
the rest of
exactly.
the information, it was already locked in. But let me tell you what, Jerry Jones said himself that the Cowboys can't stop the run, which is absolutely true. You look at it last year, they were 28th in run-stop win rates, 30th in explosive runs allowed, 32nd in EPA per rush. Sure, they added Kenny Clark. He's been there 1 week, and he's one guy. They changed the coordinators to Matt Eberflus, but the Bears couldn't stop the run last year either. They were 28th in run-stop rates, and they gave up the 5th most explosive runs all last season. They're facing the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. Saquon Barkley's the most explosive running back in the NFL. They are a bully at the point of attack team on both sides of the football. They're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. They're flat out the better team. The Eagles are going to win by 2 scores. Let's lay that 8.5 points here, Hazy B. Fly, Eagles, fly.
I can't argue against it, man.
I'm with you, but all I want to say is I don't want any. When I call in tomorrow, I don't want any griping.
Okay, fair enough.
When it's a 12-point game and Dak gets the ball back with 1:12 left, he goes right down the field and gets some garbage touchdown to lose by 5.
The back
Vic
door.
Fangio will not allow that. My guy, Vicky Fangio, will not allow that.
He's always been your guy. You've said that for
right.
ever since I've known you. You've loved Vic Fangio. It does scream back door. It does kind of go against some of our philosophies at times, but I think we pretzel our brain up.
Everybody's on it.
We
you
talk
guys know
I know
how this league works.
Yeah, and it's a divisional game,
It's
and they've
a
had all
divisional
summer
game.
to plan for it.
Everybody's been smoking the Cowboys, blah, 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 blah. And I think the Cowboys are going to have a tough year, but I guarantee they keep this one close.
Is there anything to feed into banner raising, distractions, family?
It does happen.
Like that type of stuff?
It does happen.
I'm telling you, what ends up happening is it's like, first off, if you don't go to the playoffs, you're done January 2nd.
Yeah.
You know, you go to and win the Super Bowl, you win it on February 6th, for a full week you're intoxicated.
Right.
And that parade is also just like absolute carnage.
Right.
Then you're like, man, this was such a grind. You usually take 2 or 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden your off season went from instead of 3 months, it's really about 5 weeks until you're back in the building. And there was a little bit of like, hey, you know, we've done it. Like we're the
the guys.
best. And
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
a sudden you forget that you're now the standard and everybody measures up to you.
Well, and that mentality, them trading Parsons probably feeds into that even more if they're not prepared. And they're like, we're going to smoke these guys.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to worry about Parsons anymore.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be a cakewalk for us.
So they're underestimating. It's a trap game.
Possibly a
Trap game.
Possibly a trap game. All right, well, you guys will be on the clock tomorrow for Kansas City and the Chargers. You get to those picks and our picks on Sunday. And you have a Super Bowl pick, Alice, brother? I saw you're on the Ravens. You were saying that on Jay last night. I'm on the Bills. Like, I'm all in on the Bills.
It's a good pick.
I think it's a pretty good pick.
Here's my top 5.
Okay.
1, I've got Philly still, but I'm getting them edged out. 2, and it's very close, Bills fans, don't kill me. 2, I'm going to go with Baltimore, but right on their heels would be Buffalo.
Yes.
If Tre'Davious White and Benford, like if I knew what was going on with those 2 corners right now, I'd feel better about putting the Bills
White's
there.
been hurt a lot for the
You
last
see what
few
I'm
years.
saying?
Yeah,
That's why I
hasn't
edged the
been good
Bills.
either.
Yeah,
I edged the Bills to 3. 4, I went Kansas City, but the only reason is for suspensions. Do not be fooled by the narrative, boys. I'm telling you right now, Kansas City is locked and loaded. Okay, last year they got blown out in the Super Bowl, and everyone's like, man, their run's over.
Yeah.
They went 15-2 in the second game they didn't start. The second game they lost was the last game of the year they didn't start Mahomes.
Right.
They've bolstered the offensive line. They drafted the guy out of Ohio State. They brought in a swing tackle. I think they paid him $15 million a year to be the backup in case we get in trouble. Rasheed Rice is suspended but healthy. Xavier Worthy's going to be better. Steve Spags, my guy, is still Steve Spags. That team is loaded.
They're loaded.
Loaded.
Kansas City at 4 makes a lot of sense.
5 gets greasy. Gets real greasy.
Gets greasy at 5.
There's like 6 teams I want to be like, oh, San Fran turned back the clock a little bit. The Lions, they've got some issues. New coaches. Still,
What about Cincy, Partsy?
Cincy's tough for me. Here's the one I'm going with.
That defense is so
That's
bad.
why, to me, and this is controversial, but I got the Rams at 5.
Wow.
Whoa.
Listen, assuming Matthew
Always go
Stafford.
back to the well with your boy.
Matt Stafford. He could be playing for the Tiger
Wait
Cats.
for
and you'd be
Seattle
like,
to come in.
That
at
guy will
some
be in a
But
wheelchair
Seattle's-
wheeling
hey.
around.
But listen, you look at Jared Verse with the defense later in the year. You lose Cooper Kupp, you bring in Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams balled on the Jets last year.
Yeah, if he can play and Puka stays healthy, man, that's a great 1-2 punch.
Kyron Williams.
Yep. They've got options there. They're a really good team.
They almost beat Philly.
That's right. I understand the Rams. I get it. I'd have the
Packer
Packers
in there.
at
The
5.
Pack is in there.
I'd have the Packers.
The Pack is in there.
Yes. Al's brother, do you have any response to that 5-pack?
He's a big Bears guy.
Yeah, it's a good 5, not a Bears guy. It's a good 5-pack, though. For me, I think this is the year Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens get it done. I think this is the deepest they've been. It's time for the Baltimore to get it done, and that's the team that I'm kind of hitching my wagon to this year.
Look at these
buddies
two.
Now?
Wow.
Are we?
Look at these two, Dale and Brennan.
Is this something? Do we got something going here?
Don't do it. Don't
Absolutely
do it.
not. There's no way. After seeing, again, your podcast partner called Hayes a fraud.
I'm hearing some
video.
stories, Al's brother, that I was
Very
getting torched on your podcast, and you did not come to my defense.
You know what? This is the first I've heard of this. First of all, I was not even informed that this happened at all. So I'm going to have to speak with my guy and get to the bottom of this, because I will not have that. The amount of people that come up to me, like I'm at these card shows like every other weekend, the amount of people that come up to me and say Hayes is a fraud, I have to look at them dead in the face and say, that's my partsy. You will not speak ill about him. That's my guy. My guy.
I
so
appreciate
absolutely,
that.
I'll be talking about that.
I appreciate that. Is the card circuit still rocking these days, Al's brother, or what?
Oh yeah, It's
Okay.
rocking and rolling. I was at one. There's a Labor Day show in Hamilton.
Wow.
I was at. I'm still
Did
going.
you recover
still
from
going.
the robbery, right? Weren't you
Yes.
rinsed
Yeah,
like 5
that-
months ago?
You're back. You're back in
Yeah.
action,
That's
right?
messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah,
You got
that
really?
sucked.
Yeah.
Awful.
Someone got
That
you?
was awful.
So the Labor
I
Day
haven't found
Classic
any
was
of them,
going
though.
on, and you're at a card show. I love it. That was a big win by the
Exactly.
Argos, man.
Big
They
win.
needed that win.
Big win.
Was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Al's brother, we're on the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, man. It's great to see you, Partsy. We're going to have a phenomenal year. We are a heavy favorite on FanDuel. I've seen that in Vegas. People, we're like minus 600 to win
Really?
the season.
I
Yeah,
didn't
we're a
see
huge favorite.
Can we discuss at least tomorrow at some point, like what holds more value this year?
Yes, we'll establish all
Regular
of this stuff.
season or playoffs?
Yeah.
I would say regular season. It's kind of like the Premiership, right? Like this is a long grind.
Okay.
18 weeks.
I'll
is a
discuss
battle.
the Partsy off air, and we'll see if we agree to that.
Okay.
Well, the guy that we got to get
All
on
right.
board who can't be bullied around is Doogie, because
Agreed.
Hayes gets. I know what happens after the show. Hayes has a little chit chat with Doogie, and on their way out the door, I just see Doogie nodding his head. He's like, "Yeah, I agree, I agree, I agree."
Doogie's my
And then
little buddy.
that's where the damage is done. After the show, when Hayes is in there and Doogie's there, it all goes out the window, man.
We
And
do
Doogie
convene.
turns into just a yes guy.
We do convene. No, don't say that. You can't say a yes guy.
Yeah, I can't say that.
You're not allowed to say that.
Also, Luke, you
In
got
that
yourself
term,
earlier.
I can't.
You got yourself earlier. You almost dropped that. I just don't see it happening. I heard that.
I know.
You got yourself.
Yeah, that's his saying. You're not allowed to use his bits.
I didn't use
That's
it.
Al's brother's
So you
bits.
got yourself. I know.
Yeah. Al's brother and Tatty, man, they got lawyers and they'll come
Tatman's
after you.
driving from Hamilton right now to the studio.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My pops is a big Tap Man guy.
He should be.
Yeah, big Tap Man guy.
Everyone's a big Tap Man guy. All right, picks are in. Al's brother and Hayes and bro, we're on the Eagles laying the points. 8.5. It's a big number, but I feel great about this, Al's brother. This is the start of an incredible journey. It's great to
That's
see
right.
you guys. Al's brother, Luke Willson. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. There they are. Al's
Parts, my guy.
Luke Willson.
My guy.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook app is the exclusive home of the Overdrive same-game parlay. Please play responsibly, 18+, physically located in Ontario. We just mentioned we're on the Eagles tonight,
Yeah.
laying the points. We're on the Eagles. Now, the question is, how do you fill out your parlay? And I got to go with Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown tonight. And I'm going to
Slam
throw
dunk.
Jalen Hurts in there, too, because you know the tush push is still alive and
yeah,
well.
for sure. It's coming.
And we're on the Eagles to cover the spread, which is a big number. Saquon gets in the end zone. Hurts gets in the end zone tonight. There's our same-game parlay for night one in the NFL. It's a beautiful thing that the NFL is back.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. You got the CFL again. They're chasing playoff spots in the CFL. The Argos are currently doing that. You got pennant races, playoff chases, football games tonight. It's an incredible thing.
It is.
All right, there you go. Best Bets, powered by FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app, again, is the exclusive home of the Overdrive same-game parlay. Please play responsibly. 18+, physically located in Ontario. Jay's off today. Yankees are in Houston tonight. And then Jay's Yankees tomorrow at Yankee Stadium.
That's going to be,
big, man.
Is it 3 or 4 games? What are
Three-game series.
Three-game series.
Three-game series.
There.
Starting tomorrow. It's a big one, man. That's as big as it gets. And now, again, we'll see what the Yankees do tonight against Houston. But the Jays with a 3.5-game lead.
Yeah.
You're leaving Yankee Stadium, ahead of the Yankees. And that's a loser's mentality. I'm not saying, if you get swept, you're still in a good spot. But you do have a buffer.
Why not
here.
make it 5, man?
That's the mentality I'm pushing here.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
get
it's
in
pretty
there and
impressive
push.
with the pitching they've had, Hayes, and the way things have been going, that they've kind of kept it to 3.5. Like, that's almost a victory in itself.
Totally agree.
Like, they have had no one throwing the baseball over the plate.
Or
Who
throwing
knows
it.
where they're throwing it, and they're still 3.5 with Boston and the Yankees playing the way they've been playing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've both had their own issues. By the way, what is the story with Garrett Cole? Like, is he back? Is he coming back? Like, what's his
I have not heard an update on that, but he blew his arm out in his
So he's
spring.
not even returning this year at
No.
all. I thought he was
No.
like, I saw he was back on the field like a month and a half ago, and I'm like, God, is that guy coming
he's
back?
going to rehab, but you can't push forward on a Tommy John and
Not
like you
at
blow
his
your
age,
arm out,
too.
man. You got to there's a timeline that has to be accounted for there. But you're right. It is a testament to, I think, how well this team has played, clearly how they're built. And last night they're down 5-0.
Yeah.
Like they're chasing that game, or 5-1. Like
I thought it
Bieber
was
gets
over,
hit.
but
I
then you're
thought
like-
too. And they next thing you know, the bats they come alive, and they have 16 hits, 18 hits, 5 home runs last night, and they're well over 500 ever since their bullpen started blowing up a month ago.
You said, though, it is a ride. 25 runs in 2 games they put up, and it wasn't smooth sailing.
Yeah, like one of those games should have been 13-2.
Exactly.
With the other team, having their backup catcher finishing
Well,
the game.
They would hit 3 home runs in an inning, and then they would just go up and pitch, and it would be like, you're really going to give up that many runs?
I know.
They
And
had a bullpen game, the one where they faced the bullpen to start the game because the pitcher got hurt or sick.
You're playing with fire, but it's a long season, and you find a way to win, man.
Yeah.
And it goes without saying, you're not going to win in the playoffs 13-9.
Yeah.
That's just not ever going to happen. You have to win 3-2 ball games in the playoffs.
Yes.
So they've got to figure that out. But they do have time, and they've afforded themselves some wiggle room here, even though this has been a pretty pressing issue.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think you got to give them credit. It's just amazing when considering what we were talking about this time last year, how miserable people were with this team.
Well, and doubting ownership and doubting, in the
They
offseason.
deserved it, though.
No,
100% they did, the way it was operating last year.
sorry, doubting management, not ownership, doubting management, going, what are they doing here? Always in on, in on Ohtani. No, not really. And, it seemed like they were always trying, but it was all stories. Oh, we're second. Vladdy's contract was hanging over them. There was a lot of different things. And they had a poor start, too.
They did not have a great start. You're right.
No, and the most painful thing is the way that they were hitting. Like you guys just mentioned, the entertainment. Like it was a ground out to short or second every at bat. It was so painful to watch.
Last year,
and you guys just said it. At least right now, it's entertaining.
Thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah,
it's thoroughly entertaining. So you got Jays Yankees tomorrow at Yankee Stadium. Again, Yankees Houston tonight. You got the NFL back this evening. The NBA's around the corner. The NHL's around the corner. As for the Leafs, like we talked to Pierre LeBrun an hour ago. He caught up with Brad Treliving. I guess all the GMs were together in Detroit. And I don't know. I'm not bracing for much to change between now and the beginning of camp in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I wouldn't.
But, hockey's going to hit us here pretty quickly.
Well, and we didn't even get to Pierre with the changes of like 84 games.
Which is next year. It's not happening this year.
You're right.
It's not a pressing topic.
But it's just, I don't know. I know my instinct is to be against it, but I've also been talking to people, within the PA and that saying like, hey, they're going to shorten this. They're going to shorten training camp, less games. It's going to be better for the gate, all of that type of stuff. I get it, but 84 is just a big number to wrap your head around.
Yeah, although they used to play 84, right, in the league, way back in the day.
It just seems like the one thing that they didn't need was 2 more hockey games, Hayes.
Mm-hmm. Regular season.
Regular season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without adjusting maybe the playoff
I was just
format
going
or
to say,
something like that.
adjust the playoff format. I would have liked to see maybe 2 more teams make it in. Something like that. If you were going to expand.
Going to be when Bettman leaves, that will be one of the first things that will happen.
You think
is
so?
my guess. Yes, it's Bettman that clearly doesn't want to change anything. Whenever a new commissioner comes in, it's like getting a new coach, right?
They
the new
want their
coach
own wrinkles.
exactly, and the coach comes in and goes, they're not in shape, and we got to do this. And whoever the new guy is, whoever the new commissioner is going to be. And I don't know what the timeline is on Bettman. I don't get the impression he's going anywhere anytime soon. But when someone else gets in there will be changes.
Yeah.
Look at Manfred. Look at Silver. Like the 2 most recent examples of new commissioners have completely changed their sports. Like Adam Silver has completely flipped the NBA upside down. It feels so different than when David Stern was there. Like a completely different operation.
Yeah.
And Manfred, the same thing with all these rule changes, and they're talking expansion, and they're going to realign divisions in the future. Like once they get to 32 teams, and it does sound as if that's just a formality at this point, they're going to change everything in baseball. It's going to be a completely different setup.
You mentioned Silver, and I had, again, early this morning, a conversation with people you have no idea who I talked to. Okay? This is dead serious.
Yeah. Okay.
And as far as what happened with Kawhi and the Clippers, my understanding is that dealings, mostly in the NBA, this is what we were talking about, and this is what this person was an expertise in. He said the dealings with star players, they are all insane what goes on with what's asked for, what's delivered, how they go about it. So don't think that as crazy as the Kawhi scenario plays out and everyone's like, that is insane. The star player dealings and the desperation, what goes in with like living arrange, like just the asks and what they get and how they go about it. It's everywhere.
So with that information you got, we were talking off air. Like, do you think that this story kind of goes away? There is maybe a little slap on the wrist type of thing? Because
after what I heard this morning, I was like, maybe other owners are going to be like, I don't need just give that guy a slap and say, don't ever do it again, because there's dealings that are going on that are just outrageous. And I asked him about, isn't the money alone like just enough? And he said, not even close.
Crazy.
Like we were talking about like condos and choppers and access to this, and it was
like that's
bizarro world.
Go look at the Juan Soto deal, largest contract in the history of sports.
And the pluses on that must be outrageous.
His family have tickets, they have a luxury suite. I thought I read they have like a clothing allowance. It's crazy. Yes. Yes. Like,
what about used to a bird to get there?
Oh, all that kind of stuff. That's a formality for that. But that's the crazy thing. $765 million, and hey, my cousin needs a new pair of jeans every 2 weeks. Throw that in there.
Well, it's outrage.
Like that's the kind of stuff.
They'll give it to you.
But that's the thing. If you're a player, you guys are players. Like the agent's like, well, we'll ask for it, and the guy says yes. Why wouldn't you take it? I don't blame the players.
Dude, I couldn't believe being a professional athlete when you made as much money as you did, and when you get on the plane, somebody hands you an envelope for food, like for food money. I was like, is this actually serious?
Yeah.
This guy's giving me $700 and hundreds for food when I travel on the road.
And you would waste it by the end of the flight because you'd be playing the
play
card
poker
game.
Or something.
Those guys, the card game always.
I'd play cards, Jamie, and I'd give it to the trainers. I'd be like, go get something to eat.
It's outrageous, but they allow it so the players ask for it.
No,
That's
exactly.
really what it is.
Exactly. Now, this, again, is different because all that stuff's on the books, and there's no salary cap in baseball. There's luxury tax, but it's very different in the NBA and the NHL, where it is a finite number, and you can't do anything outside of it to compensate for missed monies on the cap. And I wonder if what's going to happen here is Ballmer, they're going to have to talk to him and say, you have to take one for the team here. Right. Not go on the attack and expose other people. You got to shut this up by letting us hammer you and make it sound as if you're the outlier so that people don't go digging. Because Pablo Torre, this guy's terrifying people.
Exactly.
Now he's saying, I'm looking into Brunson. Yeah, I'm looking into Brunson. So, like, what's next? This guy's going to turn over every rock he can to find out who else is making money for doing nothing. It is.
You know what's going to happen is this Torre is going to end up working for a team or something. Somebody's going to go, we'll give you $1 million, come work for us.
Try to silence him?
Just shut your yap.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But then the next guy's coming out. Like, I don't know how Pablo's getting, all this type of information, but
Yeah.
This one, the company went under. They filed bankruptcy, so all of the details were made public. Someone sniffed it out. Someone saw it and said, hey, you might want to take a look at this.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of money. It's $28 million.
But who saw it? Like, who saw, like, that thing on documents and then called Pablo and said, you got to take a look? Whose desk did that go across where an alarm bell went off?
I guess employees of the company.
Yes, that went under, that went bankrupt. There's a whistleblower that had
which I thought was a bit extreme, dude. You're not like from the CIA.
I know, but they had his face
like a Kawhi Cash.
I know,
scandal.
His face blacked out and his voice changed. He's like, I saw it.
When we were tree planting, we were told muzzle this. I'm like, dude, I don't think you have to be concerned for your safety.
It said every like communication when it came to Kawhi's had an LOL. Like, we don't talk about that. LOL. Like, and the voice was changed. Like, it was literally like we were watching America's Most Wanted.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like someone on like Epstein's Island doing some crazy interview. It's like this. I get it's serious stuff, but not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a Kawhi Leonard tree planting.
Yeah.
Cash scandal.
Yeah, money laundering, whatever.
I think you'll be okay. I mean, maybe
maybe
the person was concerned about like getting a next job and, seeking trust from a future employer.
Who knows?
But it did seem a little bit extreme that they went
thought
into
that one,
witness protection.
Watching the video, like the person, the shape of it, and it's got like a TV screen over him. And the voices changed, and it was just a weird.
Seems very unnecessary.
I thought it was over the top.
Yes. All right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. I had the same impression. Like, that doesn't really seem necessary.
I think this is going away. I think
that's your call.
He's going to get clipped, but not ridiculous. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but if everybody else is guilty, you're right. They might say, we have to clip you, but let's keep this.
You got caught. Your thing got caught, which sucks for you, but you got to own this so that everyone else can shut up.
Exactly.
And get away from stuff.
Almost the type of guy that I've got more money than anything.
Literally more money.
Lawyered up here. Like, you guys be careful what you do here.
Well, someone was doing the math on like the collective value of all the franchises put together. He has more money.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like the Celtics just sold for $10 billion or something. The Lakers for $10 billion. This guy's got $160 billion.
Yeah,
like he could take on the whole NBA. Ballmer versus NBA.
It is
crazy,
outrageous.
All right, Dear Hazy B coming up. We're going to get into some Dear Hazy B. Morgan Wallen in town tonight. A lot of excitement down at the Rogers Center for who's going to walk out with Morgan. Well, people are asking us. We'll get into that. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
The NFL returns to TSN 1050 tonight as the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles take on their division rival Dallas Cowboys. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
People send in a tweet. They write us for our professional advice on life things. Dear Hazy B, every morning my boiler has a gas leak. My wife thinks it's the baby.
Dear Hazy B.
If you want to come to Hazy B, I need honesty from you.
Hazy, you got dumped a lot. Tell me. Tell him.
Grown adults with birthdays, it's asinine.
Know the deal. Hazy, do you think you have your opinions and thoughts to help people all dialed in this year, or what?
I think so. I mean, I think the beauty of what we did yesterday, we're asking for help with the new tagline, right? Like we're going big time here with this big Overdrive campaign. And that was a scenario where the shoes are now on the other feet, right? We're asking people to help us with the tagline. We're urging people to do that. And I think why we can trust people to do it is because of Dear Hazy B, elements of this show like this one, where we help people. Right?
Reach out.
So we need you to help us. We'll help you. And I think there's a level of trust there that's very significant.
Yep.
So to answer your question, I don't know what the hell I just said. That was one of the dumber things I've ever said.
I think so.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Throw it back to me. I was going to give you a Duthie.
Yeah, just shut up, please, and you continue.
Here's one for you, because I think you might actually, considering the fact you had a casino in your dorm, I think you might pull this off. Dear Hazy B, the commissioner of our 12-man fantasy league team uses the buy-in fees to invest throughout the season and pockets the profits. Some league members think it's greasy, while others say it's savvy. Fair or foul?
I am going to say foul because here's my concern.
But dude, nobody. It's just like our guy Brad. Who knows if Brad could be investing right now?
I got buddies. Same thing. We do little pools or we do stuff, and the guy. It's always, hey, got to get your cash. Got to get your cash. I'm like, I'm good for it. I give it to you in 2 months. No, got to have it now. And I'm like, I know what you're
They
doing.
want it
already.
They want it.
Exactly. You're investing in some AI company and whatever, and I know you're taking the cash and putting it in. Foul because if the stock plummets, you're risking that guy just disappearing and not paying anybody, which I have had happen to me before.
You've had somebody not pay?
Yes. There's a pool that I've been in for a long time. This would have been 15 years ago.
No, it's not pay. It's just there's no money to pay the winner
the guy
because
just
it's gone.
Disappeared. Everyone had paid him.
Yeah.
And the guy had run the money for years, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared. Couldn't hear from him, and everyone's like, what the hell happened? And obviously he was in a dark place, and he had lost all the money. And I think he was doing this kind of funny business.
Have you seen him since?
No, haven't seen it. You talk about getting cut out of a group. It's almost an automatic handshake. Have fun with the rest of your life. But that's what I think you're risking here. So I would say foul because anyone that's controlling the money, it's just a pot. It's someone, you're playing commissioner to make sure everyone pays.
Yeah.
You can't be. What are you investing in the S&P 500?
Could be. I mean, the thing
Like,
is,
what is the like? What are you getting out of that?
Yeah.
Like, you're talking $100 a man. Maybe you got $1,000. Like,
Right.
What kind of return
what I
are
was
you
gonna
possibly
ask, like,
getting on that?
how much money are you dealing with? It's $1,000, 10 guys at 100. Like that's what you're talking
Right.
about, or are we
Well,
talking?
the
well,
one
it
me
could
and
be
Hazy are
500
in. I think
bucks
he
in.
gets a pretty good chunk of chains if you get to the finish line.
Yeah, sure. But, yeah, exactly. Are you going into a casino and putting it all on black?
That's the thing. Like you're.
And what's the point of doing that? Just do that with your own money.
Well, you still owe it at the end.
Exactly. Like once that money is handed over, it's like that's yours now.
Yes.
Don't come looking at me, and it better be there when we get to the finish line.
Yeah. I mean, if you mark it down and the guy has a little extra money, he's like, "Oh, I'll use this
Warren
$2,000
Buffett
cash."
running fantasy pool.
And what if he invested it and it hits, and he?
That's your money. That's a lawsuit waiting to
See,
happen.
that's the thing. Like if he invested some crazy whatever, AI or company of the future, and it hits, it goes up 3,000%, and you should have a piece of that.
I think you should stake some claim in that.
I got
That
one
is a
more
lawsuit.
little nugget here at the end for a couple of different reasons. And
Okay.
you guys
It
will
is
know
greasy.
when I say it. Dear Hazy B, now that Marner is gone, who will the Leafs fan base
Wait a
turn
minute.
on?
Wait a minute.
Who will the Maple Leafs fan base turn on next?
Okay. You're out of the contest. All right. You mentioned his name.
Dude, that doesn't count, though. I'm reading Dear Hazy B's. It's part of my responsibilities
like
on the show.
You could have said the player that can't be named, right? Like to avoid that. I mean, this is a
Look,
professional
this
show.
is what I get from people. I had to read that.
All right. Who will be the next player the Leaf fan base turn on?
That's such a hard
I
question.
know.
You,
I
can't,
mean,
you gotta have. You don't want
like,
to start the season
exactly.
like that. You
It's
gotta
such
have faith. It's going to be positive.
Here's the reality. It's probably the most likely position's a goalie. Like that's kind of the truth.
Dude.
No,
I
it
think
is.
defense-
It is
no,
just.
they like going after a goalie or a defenseman.
They,
more
and
than
I
a
was
goalie.
going to say, and like Morgan Riley's a guy that's been here a long time.
He had a
that-
target on him last year,
Yes,
and
he
he
did.
fought his way out. He was excellent in the playoffs.
He definitely was.
So that's a guy that.
And Morgan
I
plays,
love Morgan too much.
plays
so.
the game right in terms of, and I'm not talking hockey. I'm talking the market, how he talks about himself, the team. Mitch, we could go on forever as to why he found himself in the position he found himself in.
Right.
He did not do himself any favors. Like there's the game on the ice, and then there's the game off the ice. And in a market like this, you got to play both well.
Yeah.
And, as of now, I don't have anyone that stands out. And I think that's a good sign for the Leafs.
It might be one of the young guys that has to turn the corner, like a Nick Robertson or something like that.
Sure. Now,
Because
you're
you're,
not
like,
going to
waiting-
get to the level of
they're not
volume of Marner.
polarizing.
Yeah,
No.
you need a like a needle mover to
What I'm
reach
trying to do
Marner's
is keep it
status.
positive, and I don't want anybody
Okay.
to get daggers from
We're
that.
going to keep it positive.
Keeping
We're
it
gonna forget
positive.
that guy even asked that
Yeah, that
question.
guy's out.
It's all right.
Morgan Wallen tonight. Do you think Austin Matthews doing the walkout with him? That seems like the obvious choice. Like that Matthews will wait and get a big pop tonight.
It would be nice, but I said to you off air, it's probably tied.
I think it's tied tonight.
Out there.
I wouldn't be surprised
Ty
at all.
and
if it's-
Max.
I can't believe you guys say that. I thought the same thing. It's
Yeah.
going to be Ty Domi.
It'll be Ty and Mark Wahlberg tonight somehow.
I'm going.
Okay,
Fun.
you're down there.
Yeah.
Dear Hazy B, brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP, where you get an entree, a side, and a drink and you'll get it all in 20 minutes or less. So fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza. All right, great stuff, everyone behind the scenes. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
Let's Go Cowboys, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.